Hi, and welcome back. More videos for the Waveform 9 Quickstart series. In this one, I want to go over zooming. There's quite a few ways to zoom, and I'm sure you'll find something that will match your workflow. So right away, I'm going to look at the cursor or the timeline zoom. This is one of the main ways that a lot of users like to zoom. If we click just above where the cursor is and push up, then we can zoom out, or pull down, then you can zoom in. Now this is assuming you've got the action set up right. So I did cover this in the previous video, but we'll go over it again. If you look at options and we look at the track behavior, track drag action, drag to change view. This is the standard way of working with Waveform. And so I'm going to leave it set that mode. In that mode, you go right up to the top edge of the cursor and it changes into this look. And now as I drag straight down, I'm zooming in around the cursor. I can drag it at the same time. So if I wanted to go over here and zoom in, I'm still holding the mouse button down. I can drag and now zoom in. Or if I want to look at a certain transient, like, I can find that area, go right to here, and then zoom in. Continue to hold the mouse down as I zoom down and down. Now you can also drag to set the height of any individual track by dragging this divider line between the track, like this. So that will open up a track. I can zoom in a little bit, hit home to go to the beginning of the song. If I wanted to size all of these tracks, you add a shift modifier. So I'm going to hold down shift and drag, and you'll see all of them size appropriately. Now over in the right corner here, the lower right corner, you've got this F in the very corner that will fit everything to the screen. So that's a fit. You've got similar fit options here for vertical and horizontal. So if I zoom in a little bit in this dimension, hit Z, you'll see it comes back. Or if I do a shift resize like this and hit this Z, it will adjust the track height so they all fit on screen. You also have little buttons here that allow you to increment the size in both vertical and horizontal dimensions. Now, another very cool thing in this version, which is brand new, is you can adjust the zooming of the actual waveform within the track. You could never do this before, and you'll find it in the menu under Options, Clip View Options, and then Audio Thumbnail Scale. So if I drag this scale, you'll see I can increase the size. This doesn't actually adjust the gain. It just adjusts the appearance of the waveform so you can more fill up the screen. If you're recording properly, sometimes the waveforms are not that big, and for editing, you'd like to be able to clearly see the transients. So you can come in to this option under Options, Clip Options, and just adjust that up to get a little bit of magnification on there. There's also some macro actions related to this if you want to create keyboard shortcuts to do these as well. Now there's a zoom tool. When you hit Shift Command, which will be Shift Alt if you're on a PC, you'll see that the cursor changes to a loop. Just adjust like this. It changes to something like a search loop. Now as I drag a box around anything I want to zoom in on and let go, I can then zoom in to what's ever in that box all the way down to the, essentially to the maximum level that you can zoom within Waveform. Now, if you want to zoom back out, you do the same thing and with a series of clicks. So I just still hold Shift Option, I get my zoom tool, and I'll click, 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 and I back all the way out of the use of that zoom tool. So it's really very nice. I'm going to do this again, Shift Option, drag around this little section on my track, and I zoom right into that. So now I want to look at a single piece of this wave. Just zoom in again. I want to look at the front edge of it. I can zoom in again, and I'm way down in there. And then to get out of that, I'm just repeating this. You hold on Shift and Option, or Shift and Alt on a PC, and just click with no dragging, and you can back your way up out of those levels of zoom. Now, there's some additional keyboard shortcuts, and you can find them by going to the Settings tab, into the keyboard shortcuts page like this. I'll clear what I was searching for before and just type in the word zoom, and you'll see your standard zoom features that are available. Zoom in is cursor down, zoom out is cursor up. And now we have zoom in fast and zoom out fast. If you have an extended keyboard, it's plus or minus on the extended keyboard. If you have a regular keyboard or a laptop, then it's the kind of the plus and minus keys, or the underline and minus key. So basically shift minus shift equals will get you the fast zoom, which zooms in approximately about 5 times with a keyboard shortcut, which I find very handy. So first of all, I'll show you normal zoom. So I'm going to focus right here, move the cursor right over here, and we're going to zoom in on this area here. Now with normal down arrow, you can see that I can, through a bunch of presses, I can zoom in and out. Left and right will actually move the cursor. So then if I hold down Shift and hit the plus, you can see this is my fast zoom. So I hit plus again and I zoom in even more. And then Shift minus. So this is the new fast zoom feature. Now I'm going to use my extended keypad. I'll hit plus, plus, and I can zoom in and zoom back out really quick. Now I showed you before that you can zoom in and out using up and down arrow keys. If you add the command modifier to that, then that will allow you to zoom in and out in the vertical dimension. If you're on Mac, that would be Control if you're on a PC. And you can see those are listed in the keyboard shortcuts page under Settings as vertical zoom in and vertical zoom out. And then there's 5 more additional options here. Zoom to fit, which is assigned to F5. Zoom to selection, which will zoom around all your selected clips. By default, that's Shift N. Zoom to fit the marked region. That means it will zoom to the area between the in marker and the out marker. Zoom to fit horizontally and vertical does the same thing as a Z in the lower right corner. And zoom to fit 5 seconds around the cursor does exactly that. It zooms to fit 5 seconds around the cursor. And that's set to F8. Kind of an interesting thing. I usually forget that that's there, but F8, that puts you 5 seconds around the cursor. So that's a summary of some of the things and ways you have to zoom in Waveform version 9. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon.